Hey everyone, in this video we are going to see how you can scrape data from target.com website for clearance sales, and you can make some profit using it. And there are many clients who are actually monitoring clearance sales using different web scraping solutions, and they are scaling things at large so that they can profit from different clearance sale items. Like you can actually look for some items that have a specific price range and that has a specific clearance discount amount, for example, and you can make profit from selling those items, and it is very popular category for doing online businesses. So in this video we are going to see how you can automate your clearance sales automation software, and how you can deploy things on cloud for monitoring purposes, and do many things or do business profit using it. So let's get started by creating a folder first. So we already created a tutorial folder where we will be creating a Python file, and we will start looking into the website to understand how this works. And for the code editor, I use Windsurf as it offers AI based code completion support, and it helps a lot. So we are going to create a new file, let's say tutorial.py, and here we will import a library named requests, and we will come to that shortly, but let's look into the website first. So here you can see we have like 4K plus records that are under clearance sales, and if you want to shop by category, you can actually look for specific clearance item category here, as you can see, like under 10 for example. And for this video demonstration, let's focus on the home page first. So here you can see we have like 4K records, and we want to extract these informations. So here you can see we have page 1 of 50, and to get started with the analysis process, we are mainly trying to understand how the website loads their data. And normally some website use APIs, and we will see if they have an API internally which we can use to make the same request that they are using. So in order to do that, you have to right click, then click on inspect, and click on network. And in your case it might be like in here if you start it for the first time. So you have to click here, dock it to the bottom for a better view, then go to the network tab, then make sure that you have this recording enabled, then make sure that you have preserved log enabled. Then from here you may have every different other things, but you may untick them to make sure that this area is bigger than any other area. And if you click here, you will see an option like this. From here you have to click on log XML HTTP requests, and once that is done, we are done with the setup. Make sure that you click on preserve log because we need that. And here if you click in this item, you will see that it is going to clear everything. So now we are going to click on the next button, and here you will notice that the page will change. And what we are going to do is we are going to search for known item that are already seen in this page. So normally people who make web scraping tutorial for YouTube or for different tutorials, they normally search through this. But initially what I suggest is you have to click on search icon, and here it will allow you to search specific known item. Like here you can see Fisher price. So if you type Fisher price, then press enter, it will save a lot of your time from manual searching. And here you can see we have found their API directly. And if you click on headers, you will see that it makes an API call. So we are going to see if we can directly access this. And here you can see, yes, we can access this directly, and we can mimic the same request using Python, and it will help us get product information that we want to extract from. So here you have to check what you want is there or not. And if you need any additional information such as let's say highly rated, you have to make sure that you search it here in the search area. After clicking the search icon, then you will see that you will find the source of that in particular information. So sometimes it will reveal internal APIs, and sometimes it will require you to make HTML request by using a beautiful soap library for HTML processing, and sometimes it may be different. So make sure to understand how the website has been designed before you approach with automation. So now at this stage we can see that we have all the information needed. Like here you can see, let's look for what we are actually looking for. So here you can see we have data, product summaries, then we have product summary, then here we have a lot of information. And here you can see we have the item type, here we have the title, we have the product details link, and every other thing. So let's try to see if we can find 18.69. Okay, so this information is not present, so we are going to search here for 1869. Sometimes it is written as comma separated value. So as you can see, this item is not available in the request response. So let's try to go to the next page to understand how this actually works. So you can minimize this, or you can resize this to be specific. And here you can see, if you click on here, it should open another one. So let's try to look for 8.19. And here you can see we have PLP search v2, and this is going to be a get request. So you have to understand what type of request it is. So if it is a post request, then you have to make a post request, and if it is a get request, you have to make a get request. So there are many things that you have to be aware of, and you have to understand if you want to make a web scripter of your own. Like you have to understand how a get request is made, how a post request is made. And if you are a non-programmer, you have to understand the basics of programming first in order to automate things like this. And it is not something very simple, because you have to have a basic understanding of Python or the programming language that you are using. But for web scraping purposes, Python is mostly used. And here you can see we have data, search recommendation, we have the different things. So we were looking for this particular value 8.19, so I'm going to search this one again, 8.19. So here you can see price and the details. So now let's go to the payload tab, and here you can see all the parameters that are being passed. So here you can see we have key, we have category, we have channel, we have different things, and we have the page name that is from the URL. As you can see here, we have the store IDs. And so in order to make such request, you have to understand how a request URL is prepared, and you might have to find some sources. Like here you can see we don't know how the 1852 appeared, so you can use the search option to search for that particular item, like 1852. If you search for this, you have to look for how this item has been designed and created, and you have to construct that particular URL using that. And sometimes the information or the value that you are actually looking for is already predefined and never changes. So in such a case, you have to use it as it is. So here you can see we have offset that is used for doing pagination. Like here you can increase like maybe 24, then 0, 24, 48, then 24 more added in order to access the next page. And this is how it is going to work. And here you can see we have different price information, like not this one, here 8.19. So here you can simply just look for the data. Like here you can see we have price, then here you can see we have different prices, so you have to look for that. So we can actually make this particular request using Python. So in order to do this, you have to write import requests. Then let's create a function named make request. Then here you have to make an HTTP GET request. I have snippets created, so I'm going to use that to save up some time. Then we return in this case. And now what it does is it basically makes a GET request to this API, the same thing that a browser does. And here we are going to get the JSON response. Let's try to print it to see if it works. So here we have like if name main, then we make request. And I'm not going to explain this part because I hope you already understand some part of Python before watching this video. And if you don't know Python yet, I would recommend you to learn Python first and then come to the request library and get some understanding of how get request and post request works. And I hope you will then be able to understand this video easily, and you will understand what I am doing here. So if I actually try to explain everything step by step, it will make the video like a few hours long, but we don't want to plan that. So here you can see we have response generated and the API is letting us access it. So let's go to here and we can try to copy this data. Then we will be creating a file named resp.json, and this will help us see the data in a more organized way, and it will help us identify what we are actually looking for. So let's say we search for price, and here you can see we have this price and we are looking to save the price. And let's say here you can see we have data, then we have search, we have products. So let's try to access this like let's say products. This is a variable that will contain the product information, so I'm going to say resp.get data, then dot get products, and here we have like data search products, right? So we are going to change this to search, then we are going to write products, and here you should see a list of products. So this is a list item. So here we have data, then we have search key, we have products, then we have different items. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to okay, so this is the item information, like item by URL. So you might want to save the by URL as well, or if you want to save the image, if you can do that for video or other cases, you can do that as well. So here you can see we have the product title, so we are going to, I think, get the product title as well. So in order to get the product title, you have to um, first loop through the data. So here you can see it is a list, and now we are going to say item title, that is product dot get item. So you can see it is now easy to understand how this is working. So here you can easily see we have the item, we have the product description, then we have the title. So item dot get description, and here is the benefit of using Windsurf with their AI powered auto completion, that it will help you target the item title that you are actually looking for, and it will suggest you accordingly. So I didn't have to write everything, it helped me by writing this. So now we are going to print the item price. So here you can see it already suggested this, and you have to just make sure that you are actually getting this correct data. So let's try to find this again. So here you can see item price, then formatted current price, right? So you have to make sure that it is correctly modified to how this is designed. So like here you can see formatted current price, and here you have the location ID. So this is the store ID where this item is available. So I can say item store ID, and we can simply just copy this, and location ID is this one. So this is how you will be able to get any information regarding a product as needed. And here you can see we have all other information as well. So this is how it is going to work, and if you run this, we are going to see how this displays the data. So here we are going to wait, and okay, I think something is wrong here. So let's try to print the response again. Print resp. So let's see if it actually returns the response. Okay, so it says not found because I think some of the data might automatically change. So like we have the key, this key may change in the future, so you have to understand how this key has been designed. So if you go to here, you have to look for the source of this key. So like if I search for this, it will help me find the key sources, and here you can see we don't see any sources for this key. So now let's try to, I think, find this in the source code, like key equal to. I think this is the API key. Excuse me. So okay, this is the API key used here. Then let's try to go back and see what else we have, like visitor ID, then we have all other things. So if I refresh the previous page, what happens? So it says not found. So we have to understand how their dynamic value changes. Like we have to find what exactly changed, and how they are changed. So like it may change the visitor ID, I think, like a visitor ID maybe 01, or let's say that we don't want to have the visitor ID. So you can try to tinker the value and parameter to understand whether it works that way or not. So here you can see we are trying to find out the API endpoint sources, and based on that you can actually revive this. Like maybe we can change to let's try to change the offset to 0 just to see what happens. So as you can see, it is now not found because the item has changed. So let's try to understand and investigate why this happens. So let's I mean filter records by PLP search v2, because this is the API endpoint that actually gives us the data. So here we are going to make a request to the next page again, or previous page if you want. So if you click here, it will make another request, and something is wrong here. Okay, I think the website is having some issues, like maybe they detected us as an automation system, and that is why they might have blacklisted our API. Sorry, I mean IP. So in such a case, you have to use proxies, and this type of problem will never happen. So let's try to clear this and click here. And yep, it seems like they did not like us, I think. Or maybe let's try to search for 4.2. Okay. So something is wrong with this process. So in this case, all you have to do is use a proxy or IP changing system so that it will allow you to access that. So currently it is not giving us anything. So let's try. Okay. And let's try to use a VPN just to confirm the idea. So here I have a VPN powered browser. So let's try to use a VPN just to see if this link is actually active. So if I paste and go, so here you can see this works for this particular one. So I would recommend that you use proxies for target.com website, and it will help you get the data. So that's how you will be able to automate website, and then you can actually paginate through the records. Like here you can change the offset value, so let's search for offset. If you change the offset to 0, for example, if I do this here, okay, no need to do that. So if you change the offset value to 0, you will be able to change the pages, and here you have the ability to change the page count as well. I mean page record count as well, by tinkering with this value. So if you set a higher value, it will return higher number of results in the page. So this is the main base idea of how we can make a request, and then you can actually paginate through the records. Like you can set page equal to 0, then offset. can be changed to this like this, where you will be able to append data like int page, sorry, I mean str page, because we are going to append this to string. So here we have the link, and we can use a while loop, while true, and then we can actually put everything inside the while loop, and then we can actually add page plus equal 24, because so we have the offset of 24 and with the count of 24, so it requires us to add 24 into the page number. And you can actually look for whether we have the data, like if you say that if not products then break, or if product length is 0 then break. So this is how you will be able to loop through the records, and then you can save the data. And if you want to save the data to CSV, you can simply just import CSV. Then here you can save the CSV. Like I have a snippet for CSV saving process, like CSV save, and here I can add field names, and here I can actually assign different data sets like item title. Then let's say that we want to use a list instead of dict object. So here you can do this like this. We have the item title, price, and store ID, and now we can save the data like this. So that is how the main concept works for finding an API of clearance items of any website. It is not limited to target website, but you can use this for any website that uses for e-commerce purposes and it has a clearance price. So this is how you'll be able to find different APIs for websites that uses clearance item for sales, and you can use that to automate this process. So in order to make this as a monitoring system, you have to purchase a server, then put this Python program there, and then schedule a cron job, because normally servers are Linux based, and the cron job is a schedule mechanism that will help you schedule running of programs, and it will run the software, or it will run this Python script there for the specific time, and then you will be able to get the data. So thank you so much for watching this far, and I hope you learned something from this video, and we will see you in the next one.